Hi everyone, my name is Adam Harris from Trade with Precision and welcome to this week's episode of Vantage Markets Inside the Chart. So starting off here with the US dollar index. So just essentially going back to the monthly here, my expectation was that we would continue down to the next level of $95. The reason being there's very little in the way. But that being said, going back here to the 4 hourly, this week showed some interesting return to a bullishness for the dollar. It's broken this downtrend. And so this coming week, what I'm really looking for is either a return back on Monday or Tuesday back into a weaker dollar, or whether we're possibly going to have a change of trend. There's no real reason for it technically. That doesn't mean it can't happen. We might just find that the dollar wants to come back and test this level of support for resistance. But that is something that I'm watching. Wasn't something that I would anticipate with this trend. It was looking pretty good. And it's interesting about this because it's showing up in gold as well. Overall, the trend for gold is looking really nice. It's building up into a bullish triangular or ascending triangle and potentially preparing for a breakout. Now, it was looking particularly strong. However, it has done a deeper correction at the moment, falling through potential support area. It hasn't broken the lows here and it hasn't broken out of the larger ascending triangle. If it does, then I'd have to reassess that. In other words, it would be taking back more into a range and losing that bullishness. It hasn't done it yet, and therefore Monday and Tuesday, that's what I'm going to be looking for. Is there going to be a recovery on Monday or Tuesday, seeing it climb back up. Silver's very similar. Silver's got a beautiful uptrend here. It's come back into the moving averages. This is a really good place for it to produce a strong bullish candle on this Monday or Tuesday. That's what I'd like to see. Should it, on the other hand, fall through here, break below these lows, then this trend is dying. But the trend overall is very nice and healthy. It looks pretty good. Moving averages are fanning out. MACD is producing high highs. This looks pretty good, same as gold, same as the dollar index. Most of those trends are intact and they should continue. But for whatever reason, last week on the tail end, we can see there's a bit of a shift, a bigger correction than anticipated. And so I want to see if we can correct back. We haven't broken the trends yet, but we pull back a little bit further than I would have expected. So I'm looking to see if that happens. Should we continue this way, then we'll just have to reevaluate it because then those trends have been lost. Essentially, the trends have just died. Now, moving on and having a look here at Bitcoin very quickly, just showing you Bitcoin has got a very nice consolidation. Looking at it from a daily perspective, it looks very much as though it's just forming a consolidation leading to a breakout, ultimately to the upside. So we'll keep an eye on that. Ethereum, for example, as well, also pulling back, looking pretty good. I'd have expected a deeper retracement, and that may still happen. So we might see something again change this week. Please do not forget, by the way, that this coming Thursday and Friday are US jobs data. There's NFP on Friday, and just be aware that of course that can create quite a bit of volatility. So if you do trade during the day or you do have positions on the 4-hour timeframes or lower, please be prepared for that increased volatility around those times. Let's have a quick look at the majors here. So we can see euro dollar attempting to go higher. Nice little bullish candle forming on Friday. Let's see if we break the high on Monday or Tuesday, continue higher. Cable, GBP on the other hand, almost looks as though it's forming a head and shoulders pattern. It may break below here if this level does not hold, and so it's looking weaker than the euro. We've got the Australian dollar, which is also producing quite a bit of bearish divergence, also coming in to test this level, so it could potentially break lower. Those are hinting at a stronger dollar. We've also got Kiwi dollar also here, potentially looking at staying within the range, not looking that strong. Then when we get to dollar yen, we've got this nice upside potential. I really like the look of this. Very much the case for going higher. Let me just quickly show you one more thing here with euro dollar. If we go to the weekly chart, we've got a beautiful uptrend. We pull back, nice bullish candle. We should, if we break the high of this, continue to the upside up towards 1.2. There's very little standing in our way as well. And again, should we break the low of this before we break the high, then of course those conditions are changing. But everything about this looks very much set to continue higher. The same with the yen pairs. They look very much as though they can continue higher. If we go and have a look at dollar CAD, dollar CAD is range bound, but it's got this bullish divergence, and so a break above these highs and a break up through this sloping trend line could see us starting to see a new uptrend, which is also supported by a stronger dollar. On the other hand, should we stay below these levels and produce lower highs, we could lead to a breakout to the downside. So we've got dollar Swissy, again, very similar analysis to the US dollar itself. I'm looking to see if we continue down. It has produced a nice bearish candle here, and a break of the low this should see this continue to head lower. Let's have a look at the global markets. Global markets actually finished higher for the week, believe it or not. They just act a little bit funny during the day and don't seem to do much, but then when you have a look at the weekly, you can see that we have continued to have a good week. If we have a look at the S&P, we've also had a very solid week, also continuing to maintain that bullishness. And finally, with the NASDAQ tech stocks, we also continued bullishly. So for now, it seems the best approach is to approach these with a week by week basis. If we have a look at the Russell 2000, this is continuing to break up a little bit higher. The Russell 2000 is 2,000 small cap companies, but they look very nice and healthy at this point in time. The UK, the FTSE, finishing with a very strong week to the upsides. The markets are especially bullish there, if a little overextended. At some point, we will get a retracement, but right now those markets continue to look bullish. The only one that's struggling a bit for now is the German DAX, struggling to break through resistance. Still very nice and bullish, still sitting at all-time highs, but a little bit overextended from a monthly perspective, and therefore possibly struggling a bit with where it is. I want to throw in one more here, which is the Hang Seng, which historically has it's taken a while to catch into or catch up with the last couple of years bull market, and it is breaking through resistance and it is getting new ground, and it's definitely worth a look if you have the ability to do that. That's it. I'm not really going to talk about much more here. Crude oil not really showing much. Looks as though it's getting ready to break a little bit low. If you look at it from a daily perspective, it's testing a level of support here, but overall not very attractive. But there's a lot of other things that are worth your while. As I said, silver and gold, I'm looking for nice bullish candles to form on Monday, possibly the same with euro dollar, nice bearish candle with dollar Swissy, and for now the indices to me are still looking bullish. Any pullbacks I would find interesting. For example, on the Hang Seng as well, we've started a retracement coming back into the moving averages that should provide me with a buying opportunity this week. I will leave you with that. Plenty to keep on your watch list and plenty of things to stalk. So thank you very much. Have a great week.